One to the second hour of The Archive, the show where we dive deep into K-pop and K-content with in-depth analysis, unique stories, hidden meanings, and fresh insights, all from our very own library studio. In our second hour, we will have the word chain coming up as a fun listener game where we build a playlist based on words shared by you, our listeners. The link to the game itself was available on our official Instagram account at the archive_8F. If you check out our bio, there is a link tree. If you go in there, there is a link tab to a spreadsheet opened for this game. If you haven't been able to participate for this week's word chain, please make sure to go ahead and check out our Instagram account again to take part for next week's word chain too. For those of you who want to tune in at this very moment, we recommend listening to our online stream at arirang.com/radio. And if you would love to watch the visual radio, please check out our official YouTube channel, Arirang Radio K-pop. Most importantly, we have an Instagram account at the archive_8F where we post highlight clips of our show. You can also send us DM direct messages if you have a message that you would like to be read on air or any song request. Plus, a very important notice, once again, a reminder that we have a link tree in our Instagram bio where you can find the Google Forms link to our weekly Wednesday segment, The Anonymous, our weekend corners for the word chain and the mood board. They are all available through our link tree on our Instagram account. Please go ahead and check it out. And with that said, we're going to jump straight into the word chain. Really curious of how you guys pulled off the game. To kick off the game itself, we had our Monday's guest, Kaho, choose out a specific song, and he came up with this one, Yellow Light by Kaho. We'll take a listen to this song and see how the chain kind of moved on based on your preferences. Here it goes, Yellow Light by Kaho. And there it was to kick off the word chain, a fun listener-powered playlist game where your song suggestions shape the lineup. As we just listened right now, that was our Monday's special guest, Kaho, starting off the game with the song Yellow Light. A beautiful song, isn't it? I believe this was an OST soundtrack for a drama called Kingderland. For those of you who watched it, I'm assuming the song was a familiar one. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. And this is how it runs, everyone. As Kaho chose Yellow Light, it is our listeners' jobs to continue on the chain by using the last letter of the song, meaning Yellow Light ends with L-I-G-H-T. So the very next person has to choose a song that begins with a T. And the person who kind of came up right after Yellow Light is none other than our very own AJohn. AJohn is calling out the song The Time Goes On by BY, saying, BY is one of my favorite artists of all time and I could not stop listening to this song when it was first released. As you guys all know, AJohn is our writer and he is our regular guest for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday Corner Second Hours. He's been doing a fascinating job for us and he feels beloved by our listeners and we are a whole family, and him setting up an example of how this game should be continued on. I must say thank you to AJohn for that. And with that said, let's take a listen to the song coming from BY, The Time Goes On. Ooh, a powerful song. I would have never expected AJohn to fall in love with a powerful rap song, hip-hop track like this. But again, that was The Time Goes On by BY. BY is such an incredible artist. You know, ever since he was on the hip-hop survival show, he's proven himself as one of the most unique, one-of-a-kind rapper in the K-hip-hop industry. And his lyrics, the beat, the tone is truly world-class. He needs so much more support and recognition globally, and I sincerely think he deserves it. Again, thank you to AJohn for that pick. Now this song, The Time Goes On, ended with N, right? And coming up very next is the word chain, the song chain, I would say, that was recommended by Marte Desiree, saying New Days by Trend Z. This is the reason. Marte says, it's because Trend Z is so dear to me and it's New Days, New Start for DJ Yohan and the Archive. That is so thoughtful. You've chosen New Days by Trend Z because not only because they're one of your favorite teams that you support, forward, but because it's a new day and a new beginning for the archive as a whole. Marte, that was so thoughtful. I actually got to meet Marte last week on the very last day of the live show of the former show, Super K-Pop. We had some coffee at the lobby, and she was such a sweet person. And I cannot wait to see you again sometime very, very soon. And with that said, everyone, here goes New Days by Trend Z. New Days by Trenzy, incredibly talented, right? Especially, I love when many of the K idols bring in that rock aspect into the music. It's become a trend, I think, bringing that like electric guitar driven sounds and kind of pairing it up with like hip hop beats and like pop sounds, and that synergy is incredible and was very well represented by the song New Days by Trend Z. Again, big thank you to Marte for playing the game. Now, moving on, New Days was actually spelled Newdayz, and Z could be a quite tricky one. But we had this one listener who did not submit the name, recommending Zombie by Day 6. This person, he or she said, Day 6's Zombie perfectly expresses how I feel sometimes. Ooh. I still remember the first time I heard the song. At first, I was like, Zombie, it's gonna be a very powerful, aggressive tune. But when I looked into the lyrics, it was really about you feeling like a zombie from time to time, not knowing who you are, always so tired, always so kind of, I don't know, not knowing what to do. You're just roaming around the city, not having any purpose. And I thought the lyric itself was beautiful, and I cannot wait to hear this song once again. Big thank you to this anonymous person who recommended this song, coming from Day 6, following up with New Days. Here goes Zombie. And there it was, Zombie by Day 6. An incredible song. If I'm correct, it was also written out by Young K, the bassist of the team, and probably the lead singer of the team too. Incredibly talented fellow Canadian, Korean Canadian, I believe, raised in Toronto. Did I tell you I have a mutual friend? And yeah, I still keep in touch with him, and I am so very happy that Day 6 as a band is also really doing well. But Young K is really doing so well in so many different areas and fields. Big props to Young K for bringing out this beautiful lyric, Zombie by Day 6 it was. So far, we had Yellow Light by Kaho, continuing on with The Time Goes On by BY, and then New Days by Trenzy, and Zombie by Day 6. Now, Zombie ends with an E, Zombie, and the very next song is coming from Jun, our listeners, recommending Every Day by Winner. Jun says, I hope everyone can enjoy the archive on a daily basis, and let's have loads of fun every day from 4 to 6 p.m. KST. Whoa, I love the song choice, Jun. I love it. I love the reason. As you guys all know, our show runs from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. KST, and we are here every single day. So whenever you guys are feeling like a zombie, make sure to come visit us, because we will give you strength and we will give you the purpose in life. Hopefully not, but we'll do our best to entertain you and bring some joy to your daily lives. So with that promised, I do want to play out this song recommended by Jun. Actually, submitted by Jun would be a better way to say it. Submitted by Jun. Here goes Every Day by Winner. And you are joining us at the archive that runs every day from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. KST. The song we just listened to was Every Day by Winner, as submitted by our listener Jun. Now we are playing this word chain in Korean, that is 끝말 잇기, using the last letter of a song to create a chain of songs to create our very own unique playlist. As I mentioned, this whole thing was kicked off by Kaho himself, recommending Yellow Light by Kaho. And now, the last letter of the song we just listened to, that was Every Day by Winner, ending with a Y. Now, the next song is a submission coming in from our listener, Aim Lita, recommending You Are by Pentagon. And the reason is this. Aim Lita says, because you are Yohan, we always support you and make the archive more fun every day. 아자아자, 화이팅! A lovely message, thank you. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Since day one this Monday, that was March 10th, I just feel so much beloved by our listeners. And I have to say that this place, especially this studio and Island Radio, feels much more like home suddenly because, having all these people helping us out in this little studio and having all of our listeners being so supportive really create a different bond right now. And I feel so grateful to be able to host this show and also produce this show. I know it's a big name to fill to become a producer, but I will never take it for granted and give my 120% to deliver the best playlist and the best K-pop, K-content related information as the librarian of the archive. And with that said, I'm going to play out this song submitted by Aimlita, You Are by Pentagon. Oh, that was such a beautiful track, wasn't it? I'll be honest with you, I was much more familiar to Pentagon's dance songs, title songs, but listening to their ballad, just like the one you listened to just now, You Are by Pentagon, oh, it's bringing out a different charm. And yeah, I've fallen in love with this song. This song is definitely flying into my very own personal playlist too. Thank you for that, Aim Lita. All right, so the song You Are by Pentagon, You Are ended with an E, right? So back to E, and coming up very next in our spreadsheet, that is Mochi Yana recommending Energetic by 101. And this is the reason. Mochiana says, I am one energetic girl who can travel to Korea during weekend, I guess. Sending all energy to Yohan and AJohn too, says Yana. So, Yana, first of all, a great song choice. Energetic by 101 is by far one of the best bops out there. And I have to agree with you. You are one energetic person who easily travels to Korea during weekends, right? So, as you guys all know, Yana is a regular listener, our fan. And when she is kind of absent from the live chat, that means she's traveling, and most of the time she's in Korea. Without us knowing. And I just want to say, I highly respect you, Yana, for your stamina, because traveling that often, it's not easy, I'll be honest with you, and I won't be able to pull off the amount of traveling you are pulling off. I told you my bucket list item for this year is travel to at least 2 different countries, and I think you already broke that record. Maybe 4 already for you? How many destinations have you traveled so far, Yana? Let me know through our DM. And for now, let's enjoy this song together, coming from 101 as recommended by Mochi Yana. Here goes Energetic.
Welcome to Arirang Radio.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We just listened to 101's Energetic, and this is the word chain game where our listeners actually line up all the songs based on the very last letter of the previous song that the previous listener actually submitted. So far, again, that was Yellow Light by Kao, to The Time Goes On by BY, and The New Days by Trenzy, led to Zombie by Day6, then Everyday by Winner, You Are by Pentagon, then Energetic by 101. Energetic ends with a C, and to continue on the game, we have Yanita recommending Coffee With Me by Paul Kim. Yanita says, will you have a coffee with me if I go to Korea, Yohan? Hahaha, sorry, I could only think of this song. Is this a personal message coming to me right now? One thing for sure, everyone. If you come to Korea, and if you want to see either me or AJohn, we are down to grab some coffee at the lobby floor, the first floor of Arirang Tower. Just like how I met Marte, our listener, last week. If you are in Korea, in Seoul, and if you have free time to swing by, we can definitely set up something, grab some coffee. Coffee's on me, by the way. Great coffee here. So, yeah, hit me up. Anytime, slide in your DMs letting us know that you are in town. We would love to meet you, grab some coffee with you too. And with that, let's listen to Paul Kim with the song Coffee With Me. And yes, everybody, that was Coffee With Me, 커피 한잔 할래요 by Paul Kim as requested by Yanita. And again, I truly mean it. So if you guys are in town, make sure to let us know by DMing us at the archive_8F. John and I would be more than happy to grab a quick coffee with you, get to know you in person. Again, you are joining us for the Word Chain, our Saturday's Corner. The song we just listened to was Coffee with Me by Paul Kim, ending with the letter E. The very next song is a request and a submission coming from our listener Julia asking for Evil Doer by One We. I sincerely want to play out this song, but unfortunately it's not yet registered in our database. I need to do that prior to the show, but because this is the first week, it's a little bit difficult to kind of push through with it. So I promise you next week I'll try to get every songs that you list out be played out during our live show. Moving on to the very next song, Evil Doer will be continued on as a chain with the song Lights by Kim Jong-hyun Jr. as requested by our listener Benny. Now, Benny is saying debut song of Yohan's good friend and former New East leader JR, and the reason is the archive is always the light of our everyday lives, seeing our DJ and PD Yohan and AJohn the writer as well. A warm message from Benny. Thank you so very much. Yeah, as you guys all know, Jonghyun is a good friend of mine. Kim Jonghyun, former member of New East and now a solo singer-songwriter and also an actor. He's now serving in the military, so I'm pretty sure he'll be so happy to know that we played out his song. But a quick mention because I know the word chains can be a little bit confusing. The previous song actually ended with an R, evil doer, right? But this song will begin with L. So if we are to be strict with the rules, it could be a little bit off. But you know, we are a family, and of course, we'll be generous to each other. So in this case, you know, no problem at all. But just a quick mention that if you could, everyone, double check the last letter of the song that you are adding the chain to, and please make sure that it starts and ends with the right, accurate alphabet. But again, thank you again, Benny, for this lovely, sweet letter. I'm gonna play out this song coming from Kim Jong-hyun, Jr. Lights It Is. And there it was, everyone. Lights by Kim Jong-hyun. Ah, beautiful song, isn't it? The choreography is also so very cute, and the music video is also very, very cute. So go ahead and check it out, everyone. A big thank you to Benny for the submission. Let me go all the way back to the top of the word chain game today. We picked off with Yellow Light by Kaho, as recommended by Kaho. And ending with a T, we had The Time Goes On by BY, followed up by New Days by Trenzy, and then Zombie by Day 6, Every Day by Winner, You Are by Pentagon, Energetic by 101, Coffee With Me by Paul Kim, and then Evil Doer by One We, and Lights by Kim Jong-hyun. This is an interesting game, and you guys are doing a fascinating job already. This playlist is incredible, I must say. We have one last song to play out, and this is a submission coming in from Lenny saying, because the song Lights ends with an S, I want to recommend Spring Spell by Ivan. Lenny says, this is the first song that I listened to after I got to know you, Yohan, from Hotbeat, and I love it. Since this is your first week on the archive plus spring weather is coming, I think this song can be a good start. Let's spell good things for the archive. I wonder what comes to your mind for spell, Yohan. All right, a sweet, sweet message coming in from Lenny. As you all know, I promoted myself and my music as Ivan for a long time. But starting with the archive, I am promoting under my given name, which is Yohan Lee. And this song that I'm gonna play for you to close off the show today will be Spring Spell, 이번 봄이 가기 전까지, that I released like, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe. The spring weather is definitely here. It's getting warmer and I'm really enjoying the mood. But for me, the spring of 2025 will be forever remembered as the season of the archive. You know, nowadays, I don't know, like more than 50% of my brain is focused on the archive and getting to know our listeners person to person. So I just want to say again, thank you so much for being so supportive on our show. We had so many concerns, especially considering our second hour corners, because we did not know where this is going to head. Even for today's word chain, we're like, What are we gonna do if our listeners were not to participate? How are we gonna cover up? We're like, are we gonna be using all these like AI devices to come up with fake stories? But we had nothing to worry about because you guys are so supportive and your stories are just so incredible. I just want to give you a big, big clap, a round of applause for being such incredible listeners and incredible addition to our program. As we mentioned several times, the archive is a collective show. We don't want this to be like one sided or just uni-directed program where we just throw information and just do whatever we want to do in the studio. We want this to be a collective show where we can actually gather up together for town hall meetings, really talk about room for improvement, bring in more ideas, and see how the show can improve as a whole. So I just want to say, tell our listeners to please feel at home for our show, have some ownership over it, and really make the show interesting as most interesting as possible. And yeah, I just want to say thank you again for being there and for being who you are, truly from the bottom of my heart. And that will be the end of our show today, letting you off with the final song, Spring Spell, 이번 봄이 가기 전까지 by Ivan. A big thank you to all the listeners who participated in the game. For those of you who submitted but I wasn't able to play out the song, I promise you I'll try my best to fit in as many songs as possible starting next Saturday. The new submission will open after Monday's show with the new guest kind of lifting the first song of the game. So please keep an eye on that. I'll be back tomorrow 4 p.m. KST. Thanks for tuning in once again. This has been yours truly, Yohan Lee, checking out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.